We'll need someone to verify that they see what we're seeing.
Or channels now on YouTube. Well, hello.
Okay, he should see it now, I think.
Yeah, it just started streaming.
Okay. Um, so are you listening to the audio that is coming from us or from the actual event?
Oh, yeah, I just heard the delay.
All right. So I'm going to now move a base, and you tell me when it moves.
I think it's mute.
I just saw the base move now.
Okay, so that looks like it'll be about a 30-second delay, which isn't bad. Um, okay. Um, so you're seeing it. Audio's coming in clean. Katara, give a quick audio test.
1, 2 testing.
Yeah, you're coming in clean for me. How does he sound coming from the actual event?
Uh, well, good. I think, yeah. Cause yeah, yeah, fine. Because in my head I was like waiting for the stream to air, but I was already deafened in the chat. So yeah, the audio is good.
Okay, great. Thanks so much for verifying that. You're welcome to hang around, but you don't have to. I do appreciate that. What we're going to do next is we're going to just time a match, seeing how long we have to, making sure that we explain things, and make sure that it wraps up within the hour.
And if we do this matchup within an hour, we'll be fine.
Right. So, first thing I'm going to do is reset the clock. So at this point, we've welcomed back the audience. I'll have introduced you, um, and we'll say that I spend about a minute talking about you, talking about our interactions and Erudia. So we'll just tack on a minute to the clock that's on there. We will roll to see who goes first, and it's going to be you. So one thing that's important to note for new players is that there's an asymmetric starting setup. You are going to draft a specific type of unit, one from each class. These are the acolytes that I have drafted for my classes. And the second player will draw 5 cards compared to 4. So we're going to bring out 4 battlefields with possible terrains. We have Conaria. That's a castle. It has no objective. It's the only battlefield that's worth 5 points. And it has a loot condition that will go to the victor. We have Crystal Caverns. It's a cave. In 9 turns, this battlefield is scoring one way or another. And the winner will also receive a benefit in terms of item recursion. Scavenger Peak is a mountain, which will have an objective of 7. That means that when we have 7 combined units between us, the battlefield will score. Note that the breakpoint is pretty high at 30, and that's because it can survive a lot of units being played there, or it can damage itself as you mine the battlefield for items. And finally, we have Dread Lagoon, the swamp. It's an environment, but it has no objective, but it does have a 4-to-1 victory point split. It is just incredibly painful to play there. Alright, Katara, whenever you're ready.
I'll start with Nagato, and I'll give him a sneak attack modifier, and my third tactic will be a Cloak of Charon.
So the Cloak is a treasury card. It has the ability to cloak a unit until daybreak, potentially every turn. Nagato has a reaction that after he cloaks, or after anyone cloaks, they'll deal 1 damage to the battlefield, which means that he's going to be whittling away at Scavenger
Plus,
Peak.
there is sneak attack that allow to move the unit when it's on cloak or gain power.
Right, so he can go anywhere because sneak attack only triggers once per turn, but it does not destroy itself, so he can do some shenanigans right out of the gate.
I guess I'll use the command this turn to cloak Nagato. And that's going to be my turn.
So Crystal Caverns will move up 1. Remember, in 9 turns it's going to score. We'll check to see if anything will score. Nothing scores. And then you will draw 2. Okay.
I'll pass the turn.
I'm going to play... Oh, we should turn on turns, because that will be important. I'm going to forget to do that all game long. All day long.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play Breach. Breach is a construct. It has 3 health, and it's going to gain 3 delay. It's going to fire after a certain amount of time has passed. And then I'm going to play Aris, who has the command to draw 2 cards and draw 2 less cards during your next regroup phase. The regroup phase is the 4th phase. That's when you actually draw and discard. I'm essentially pre-drawing my cards now. So I'll draw 2 cards. And for my final tactic, I will shield. And we should probably make sure to use the tactic tokens.
Yep. So
Oops.
at the start, at daybreak, Cloak of Charon is going to expire. So Nagato is on cloaking. I will not use its react since it's optional. I want to keep it around. I'll use my support item to give him a halberd. Okay, which is going to give a weapon. It's going to give him 1 power. And I will hunt for a unit with deplete tactic,
So hunting... Go ahead.
revealing cards from my deck until I find a specific card of the type. But it's cost me 3 morale to do so. Then I will play the unit I've just gained, and I will Scavenger Peak, and I will cloak Nagato.
So right now, he's only committing 3 power. The cloaked unit does not count for power or presence. It's a great way of not letting your rival exploit your power, but if that's the only presence that he has, then it won't apply either way. So you can't have all the advantages in the world.
For my deck to be sure, and draw 2 more cards.
So Crystal Caverns is on 3. I'll start with Aris to draw 2 cards. I'll play Maynard. Maynard is one of my chemist acolytes. After you use a reusable item on this card, gain 1 temporary power. She also has the ability to discard an item, then play an item. I will play Catch Potion on her. Catch Potion is a modifier that when you use a reusable item on another unit here, you may use it on this unit or a rival unit next. If you played Final Fantasy with the chemists and double drinking, that's what this is all about. And I will shield her. So I've already drawn my cards with Eris. We'll move the cavern up. At nightfall, I'm going to move 1 delay from Breach, so it lost 1 on turn 1, it lost the second one on turn 2, and in 1 more turn, I'll have the ability to play an extra card.
If it's still there. At daybreak, Cloak of Charon is going to expire. I will start by reacting with Sneak Attack to move any number of my allied unit here to an adjacent battlefield. I'll start by, since movement happen 1 at a time, so I'll start by moving Pioris. He can deal 1 damage to a rival target here, but there are none. Then I will move Nagato's over. And he will be able to deal 1 and then the halberd has a react, and it can deal a battlefield damage on movement, which I'm going to do.
So the halberd is reacting after this unit moves to another battlefield. You may deal 1 damage to that battlefield.
Is that now Nagato can use its react to deal a damage to Crystal Cavern.
So this is the stack working. We resolved the Uncloak. He can resolve Nagato, or he can resolve Sneak Attack. He's choosing to resolve Sneak Attack first.
Then I'm going to use my action to play my advanced tactic to play an action, mount up.
Is Pyrois reacting on Crystal Caverns too, or no?
He's not uncloaking.
Oh, he didn't uncloak, that's right.
To move Pioris, and since once per battlefield, and it's a different battlefield, I can deal damage, dealing damage to breach. Then I will use Negato's command to discard an item from my hand. And
So he's discarding the fire skein. This is throwing from ninjas in Final Fantasy. So he's throwing the fire skein. He's going to deal 1 damage to up to 2 rival targets. That's anything with a health. So he can deal 1 damage to the breach and 1 damage to Maynard. The shield will block it.
then I can do the rest of the main effect of the command. It's to deal 1 damage to a rival target, which is going to be the breach.
So it is not, in fact, going to be there.
Not the worst construct, but it's still a pain to deal with. Then I'm going to play Ganon over Coneria, the recruit of. And I'm going to use my third support tactic with Whisperweed. Move an allied unit to any battlefield and return this card to your hand to move Fioris and deal 8 damage to Aris. And just to be safe, I'm going to cloak on Crystal Cavern. But I did gain delay, which is going to cancel abilities, and it's not going to get removed since I cloaked it. And it's be fine by me.
I'll start with Aris. You actually have 2 power there.
Yep.
One of the things about Chrononauts is that you have to plan several turns in advance. So I think I want to do is we'll play Avogadro, who will play Epinephrine. So Epinephrine is a reusable item. An allied unit gains 1 strength and is protected until daybreak. I'm going to react with Catch Potion so that I'll use it on both of them. So they both gain a strength, and more importantly, they are going to be protected from someone who just happens to be a wrecking ball. And (11 of 25). I'll deal damage to Pyroi.
Okay.
Now I already drew my cards with Aris, so I'm good. Now I'll clean up Epinephrine from Limbo.
Which goes back to your hand because of Avogadro. And I moved. Oh, okay. At first, Daybreak. I'm gonna uncloak Nagato. Cinq, c'est 7, 8. Nah. Like, too bad that I I'm delayed. I can't use my react. So instead, I'm going to use my react to move.
So that'll be +4. Will you
Plus 1
react?
battlefield damage.
So that is 14 of 24. Pyrace would add 3. You don't have a lot of cards though, and you can't throw anything.
Yeah. I said 14 out of 24. If I move Pieris over, that's missing
7.
exactly what I got. I'll use the most underestimated item, Dowsing Rod, to search for an item and draw it. I'm gonna get a Bolt Fan. Then I'm gonna play the Elite of the Ninja, the Jonin, to discard an item, a Bolt Fan.
So Jonin will discard an item from your hand, then deal 2 damage to a nearby rival target. I'm protected, so he can't damage me.
But discarding the Bolt Fan allow me to deal 3 battlefield damage.
And that is going to be 21.
Yeah.
You had 5 cards. I did not think you'd be able to do it.
Yeah, it doesn't red. And with my last tactic, I'll just shuffle my deck to be sure again, and I will draw a deplete draw a card because I need some.
So deplete
And
will
I'm
let you have. You can have 3 options for delete. You can spend morale to draw a card, to hunt for a card, or to weaken a rival unit. So that makes sense with an extra tactic that he would want to.
I just hope that's the best move because currently I don't have. I would really like to win Crystal Cavern when its objective gonna expire on my next turn to get back all of my item, but I will have no units left on the battlefield.
You're getting a
So
leader. I wouldn't complain.
yeah, there's that.
All right. Any ambush?
Nope.
Nothing for me. You'll get 5. I'll get 3. Loot. Grab your leader.
Yeah. Right back. Shuffle my deck. No retreat.
No retreat. There's something else I could have done, and I probably should have done it in hindsight. Alright. I'll start with Aris. I do not have a good hand for this situation. I'm going to hunt for a unit with deplete. Yes, a Watcher. That's what I wanted. I'll play the Watcher on Crystal Caverns. I will add a Strength to the Watcher and a Shield.
Yeah. It's gonna be a weird payoff, but it's gonna be that.
I'm going to draw 1.
Hmm.
I have 12 cards.
Didn't you use Ares this turn?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Keep forgetting that. So I have 11 cards. I will keep all of them. Spending 1 morale to keep 1 card, which is something I can do.
Okay. Now I'm gonna play again oh no, I can't do both. Shmoo. Because that's, or you could have 1, 2, 3, 5.
You can play Tissa there.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Ça ferait 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll do that. It's gonna be funnier. I'll play Ninjutsu to play an extra action.
Ninjutsu is the major ninja spell. It means that if you're going to be doing a ton of throwing, you're going to get extra stuff.
Sadly, no, because I couldn't get to action.
But
But I'm gonna
you can play an action or get an item back.
I'm gonna play throw to discard an halberd. It has 3 qualifier. It's an item, equipment, and weapon. So I'm gonna get 3 strength. But since I discarded an item with throw, I'll gain an extra strength. Yeah, so the total of 4. And it's not an allied ninja item, so I cannot play it. That's my advance in my warfare, and then I'm going to spend a morale to use the deplete again, but this time as its third option and give you a morale in case you've got the Tears of Undine and you try to time either. And that's going to be Crystal Cavern. I have no ambush.
I have no ambush. So he's going to restock his hand. This is going to be really bad.
Yeah, I can.
Well, I
I'm
know
gonna
that you have
draw.
at least 6 items. You'll clean up your cards. Again, it will
Yeah,
go to discard. The Watcher, before this card goes to the discard, return it to your hand or shuffle a card into your deck. I'm going to shuffle in Maynard.
and now we change the battlefield.
Shannon Dunes. Alright,
Then going to. I'm gonna draw 2 cards. I'll draw one first. I'll draw a 11th card. Oh, then I'm 11. I'm at end size is at 11th. I'll have to discard one. I'm gonna discard a bolt fan. I get to trigger is discarding bonuses as well as is use advantage because I can play it since I have Nijutsu. Sadly, I have no unit to give strength to.
so who are you going to deal the damage?
I'll deal 3 damage to Zebedia and draw 2 cards.
Now you'll have to discard again. So the normal hand limit is 10. If you draw more cards, you will discard down continually until you have 10. But with ninjas, this is like giving them an extra turn.
I'll just discard 2 Halberd and sadly
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
and that's gonna be
Alright. I'm going to play Dalton on Dread Lagoon. React
losing
once
a
per
morale.
turn after you position a unit here. Since I played a unit there, I have to lose morale. Dalton will play epinephrine, which is an ingredient for protection and a strength. I will give him a strength, and I will shield Aris. And I probably should have done Aris first, so let's go ahead and do Aris just in case. I'd keep all that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he has 5 strength and it's protected.
I'll start with playing Arion onto Scavenger Peak. I'll react to its Scavenger Peak to shuffle in my Bolt Fan. And I will play Smoke Pellet, Cloak an allied unit. And I will play Punch-In to deploy an allied unit on a battlefield where I have a cloak unit. And I will use its command to uncloak Arion there.
So Hanzo has the ability to grab items as you're throwing them. So once per turn after you discard an item from your hand, gain 1 charge, and the charges can be used to shuffle items back into your deck. She's grabbing them with her grappling hook.
And that's going to be my turn. I'll draw my 2 cards.
Start with Aris. I'm going to play Laruba on Trianon Dunes. I'll play Slow. Heal a delay from a rival card and I'll add a card anywhere. I have no allied cards to heal, so I will draw one card with Laruba. We're going to put 4 defense on every battlefield, and we're going to delay Hanzo for a turn.
Yep.
So Hanzo's ability is cancelled. 8, 9, 10, 11. And I will deal a damage to Dread Lagoon for 1.
Mm.
I've already drawn my cards, but I have Dalton for increased hand size. So I'm good.
Mm. Now we'll allow Issa to Zebedia.
Zebedia is a foggy town, so units here lose 1 power, but you can use your support tactic to cancel it until nightfall. Tissa is the ninja leader. This is the one that he got with Corneria, and she's extremely powerful because she's going to bring units everywhere.
I'll use it to assign Epona into play, then cloak it.
So
Yeah.
assigning is direct placement into play. It just appears there. There are no reactions.
I'll pull my cloak back. Cloak her. We're safe for now. And I'll give a halberd to Arion. I'm drawing 2 cards.
Alright, we'll start with Aris. So we've lost the buff from slow. What to do here? This is hard. We'll rewind Arion and the halberd. Play Hodgkin on Zabadia. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I'll deal a damage to Dread Lagoon with support. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've already drawn my card with Eris, so I'm good. Your turn. Sorry, I forgot one more step. I am going to draw back the Epinephrine.
Yep.
And then I will just discard a Timekeeper for the 11th card. So at nightfall, we're going to lose 1 delay.
Mm-hmm. I didn't place that at good. We'll do it like that. I'll play Kotaro to shuffle back my smoke pellet. And I'll use is I will play a Albert and interrupt with Kotaro to play it on a cloaked allied unit. Then I'll use its command to uncloak an allied unit with an attachment, which is including an equipment. And as my advance, I'll be bringing Infiltration onto on the dunes. I will use Tessa's command to assign a Jonin. Assign does not trigger attack, but it does trigger ready. So I'll discard a Fire Skin to deal a damage on Aruba and Hodgkin.
And who's dying?
Ah, yeah, that's a good question.
You can do
guess I'll have.
neither.
Yeah, no, I can damage Aris, but no, I'll damage Naruba. Yeah, I think it's gonna be better than just give you a tough choice between card. And I'm gonna choose to cloak it with Tessa.
You don't have a choice. You have to cloak it.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, and then cloaking Tessa with my cloak once I'm done with her, so that at nightfall, not first after I draw my card. So now infiltration is gonna gain some charges, so I can play units with my discard assigned.
So you'll notice that I lost a morale because a unit died. That is a permanent effect to having someone die. It's very unfortunate. So, okay. We'll start with Aris, as usual.
I forgot to gain my charge on Enzo.
Okay, let's do some stuff. So, you've got the power of 3. Zabadia has 3 damage. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Maynard. Let's go ahead and say that we're going to cancel Zabadia's ability. So we're going to use the support to cancel the constant until nightfall. That is going to be a total of 6 of 15. I need to add 9. So Dalton is going to play Astatine, which is a reusable item. So an allied unit gains 2 temporary power. And that's going to go on to Maynard for +3. That's 9 of 15. We know at some point I'm going to play Water on Acid, which will do a couple of things. But first thing it's going to do is resolve the item in Limbo. So it's going to be another 3 on Maynard. I think what I need to do is use. So I've done warfare and I've done support and I will have done advanced. So I need to play epinephrine with Maynard by discarding another astatine, which will go onto. I don't think it actually needs to go onto Maynard.
Depending on if you
Yeah.
want to do this.
I think I want to invest more in Dalton. So I'm going to walk through the water and acid play in a second. So that is good. Those are all my plays. So water on acid. It's a bit of a complicated card. I'm throwing a bunch of ingredients into a recipe, and now a bunch of stuff is going to happen. So use an ingredient in limbo now. I'm choosing to use astatine for 2 temporary power on Maynard. You may resolve each ability once if the matching ability ingredient type is in limbo. A is definitely in limbo because of astatine, so that's going to be +2 temporary power to those 2 units. I'm going to give epinephrine a choice of C, which will deal 2 battlefield damage to any battlefield. So that's going to be a total of 5 to 13. So I don't actually need to cancel Zabadia, because if I put this on, I don't need to cancel Zabadia. If I put this on Maynard, that'll actually be 15.
Yep.
Which frees up my support tactic to use the Shard of Gaia to kill infiltration right now. So I'm happy with that. Somewhat happy with that.
Yeah, I think you're done doing chemist plays, but
I got recursion.
Yeah.
Zabadia has been captured. You have no presence there. I will not ambush, will you?
there would be a couple good ambush, but I do not have them currently.
Yeah, if you had Ishikawa who would uncloak it. But then I'll get Tissa off the board. You have no presence there, so you get no points. But more importantly, Tissa is off the board.
Out of an. Oh,
Oh, we got a bridge. So a bridge is special. It's going to be Tug of War for the lead. I already did Aris. I played a bunch of cards, so all this will go to my discard.
I'll start my turn by doing Enzo's React, since I can no longer play unit with my to shuffle in my Fire Skiing and draw a card. It's not bad. Then I will play a sneak attack onto that cloaked unit thanks to Kotaro. Then I will do a couple of mats quickly. Triumph to uncloak with John in. Or I guess I'll move. Oh, actually, I haven't played any units yet. I don't think I'll go to solo the Dune. So before using Kotaro's command, I will play probably just a cannon's gonna be enough. I'm gonna use Epona to bring Kotaro's over. Now Epona's gonna react and give him a temporary power. Do I need to because if I don't play this, I only get plus. Yeah, I'll play Genin on the instead. I'll play Arion on the bridge since I don't need him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I'll use the Fate for the power. Each of my unit will gain 1 temporary power.
So Katara moved over for 5, for 4, plus 3, plus 11. 1, 2, 3. That's 15, I count.
And I'll do a battlefield damage with my support tactic.
So battlefield damage is a great way of being a terminal play or not a terminal play. I'm using it non-terminally here, and this is going to hurt really badly. So this
Alright.
is a base that favors, well, the loser in VP, but losing 4 morale is really going to hurt my options and my card draw later on.
And yeah, and I'll gain 2 points.
The bridge is going to move up 1 space because you are winning on the bridge.
Yep. Mm. And it's gonna be
I'll start with Aris. See, normally this would be a moment where I would maybe hunt for a unit, but I can't. I actually can't afford to hunt for a unit because I only have 2. So what we'll do is we're going to play Distortion to cancel events during your turn, and you draw 1 less card per turn.
it's especially good with the Elven Woods
Yeah.
that allow me to give power during my turn.
Especially since he has cavalry with movement. And I'm actually going to deal 2 damage to Arion.
Okay.
And I already drew with Aris.
Well, I will play the Asheron Idol.
It's a treasury card that will let him search for an acolyte.
I will draw Ishikawa, which we talked before. I'm gonna use my Warfare to play him onto Lamia Lake. He's gonna have an attack that's an unplay effect to cloak or uncloak an allied unit. I'm gonna cloak Arion since he's badly wounded. And I'm gonna give Ishikawa a mount up to make him mobile if needed. Now, the moments when it hurts, I draw 1 card.
So the battlefield is at 3. If I don't overtake the lead right now, it is going to get captured, and he'll take it, and that'll be a sizable difference. However, he has effectively another 3 power to utilize, so I have to play this very carefully and hope that I get an amazing draw. Yes, that is exactly what I needed.
The 2 damage really messed my plan here.
So, we will start by, that was the Aris. We will start by doing, I need to think about what I want to do. Well, I don't have a choice, actually. So the Arbiter is the elite. It's going to let me look in the top and bottom card of my deck, which will be that and that. I will store those 2, so I could have a chance to play them later. I will play a very timely drawn Ashes of Ifrit to kill Arion and deal 1 damage to Ishikawa. You'll lose morale. And because I feel the game is slipping away from me, I'm going to deplete to draw a card.
And you deal a battlefield damage or second to
Second
Ishikawa?
damage. I'm not pushing it way too close to you. Alright. You could be very useful. Alright. After I draw my cards, the bridge will now swing back to me. Did I stall him enough? I will lose 1 delay. And I hope that I have stalled enough.
will
He'll
be
lose one
1,
charge
2,
on
3.
distortion. It'll only last for one more turn.
Oh, if I play the Storm Chaser,
That's incredibly powerful with ninjas and their item
yeah,
discarding.
if only if I move him, oh, I am to discard. Let's see. It's good, but I don't need this. If I am to discard Whisper Weed to move him
Really?
once, I don't really need it for now. And then I move him again with Mount Up, Storm Chaser, giving me power slowly. And then I move him back with Ride or Die. That's the next. I'm adding myself a
8.
out of yeah, out of 5 power. Then since I discarded an item, Enzo gonna charge, and I'm gonna use it to shuffle in something that gives me power. Probably the Albert in case I need to shuffle an item though. Yeah. And draw a card, hoping it's good. It's it's not good.
You need to add 4.
Yeah. And this card draw is not good. What I can do. I didn't have any Jonin left, sadly. Well, I could technically have done the draw for Enzo before actually playing Ride or Die.
Yeah,
So I
I'm
guess,
a little surprised you didn't do that. So
yeah,
you don't have to finish there.
I'll use Ride or Die to move back. Oops, it's kind of lagged. And tugging back.
So who's going where?
Yeah, Enzo gonna be there to have the advantage on the bridge to pull it back with
Okay.
5 power. Ishikawa is gonna stay there with all its setup, but I'm gonna play a Chunin over there. I will not shuffle any item, but I will first cloak.
Ishikawa.
Yeah.
All right, and you draw 1 card.
Yep.
All right.
So that's pulled back to 2. I lose the power. That should.
We'll start with Aris. So 7. That would be. Yep. Because you have proven to be really effective distortion, I'm going to play
Yes.
Taper to play an action. Event at nightfall, return another action in limbo to your hand. I'm going to play Haste. Wait. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to play a Timekeeper to choose a fate to heal a delay from an allied card anywhere. Healing it from the Arbiter. The Arbiter is going to play a Watcher. I'll draw that card. So I'm unleashing. You may draw a card stored under this card, play a stored card. Choose to play the stored Watcher. That was Warfare and Advance with support. I will deal 1 damage to Laminia. 7, 8, 9. Those are all my plays. Ishikawa is ambushed, so will you ambush? Possibly with a Chunin.
He's the card draw from distortion is hurting me right now, so sadly no ambush.
I'll take 2 points. I will clean up. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Watcher to the discard. I'm sorry, to the Arbiter. Then I'm going to send the Watcher to shuffle in the Arbiter. And the next battlefield is Herodon. That's very good for me. I've already drawn my cards. At nightfall, I'm going to return Distortion back to my hand. And Haste
Yep.
will lose a charge. So this is a static spell. It means that it will stay in play for a duration of time.
I will start by playing Genin to have Présence of Eradon so I can now use its command.
Herodon lets you look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you can choose to bury one of those cards.
I really don't need that. It's gonna be good, but then I'm gonna play a Bolt Fan to draw 2 cards. And I'm gonna give a Strength to that Genin. Or, you know what? I'll draw another card. I really need card right now. That's better. And I'll draw 2 more. It's gonna be your turn.
I'll play an Arbiter to look at the top 2 cards. Top and bottom card, actually. Yes, I will store those. I will use Herodon's ability to look at the top 3 cards. We're going to put this on the bottom. The top card is going to go on the bottom so that Aris will draw those 2 cards. We'll play Distortion. And we'll deal a damage to Dread Lagoon. And in turn, I've already drawn my cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm good because of Dalton. And Distortion will lose a charge. And I'll lose a delay.
And Ace is gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll start with Eradon. How can I get this card? I will use a deplete to hunt an action. I think I'm at 2 to get the Bunshin action. Shuffle in my deck. And I'm going to play you in play. I'll gamble. I will play a Bunshin onto Elvenwood. Deploying there. Think I get a Sleipnir. Not the best. Then, but it could give me that. I will uncloak Ishikawa. Use Mount Up to move over there, gaining power. Then I will discard a card. It's going to be Water Scroll to move over your Arbiter. And I'll move back over here.
So it's going to be 4. Storm Chaser will give you... You'll draw a card for Sleipnir.
Yep.
So 3, that's 8. 12 of... 12 of 17.
It needs 5.
Yeah.
And I only have one tactic left. Oh, and I drew from Ashes of Ifrit, so I will, in that case, play safe. Playing a Chunin over Dread Lagoon, losing a morale to cloak back Ishikawa. At 2 damage, really irritating. And I'll draw a card. It's going to be your turn.
At daybreak, I will get 2 temporary power. So
there's that.
9. Let's see what you got for me, Aris. Would have been nice to use Herodon first. So 9. I feel like momentum is on my side, and we have 5 minutes left, so I'm going to try something. I can't get the forest objective.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Because that would be 9. 9. Although, actually, that does seem like that would work. That would be fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, let's do that. I think that's better. So we're going to play Gaspar, losing my last morale. He's going to gain 4 delay.
I'm going to lose a taxi. Turn.
We're going to do Slipstream to remove a delay and a delay, and they're both going to go to Gaspar. I will unleash with the Arbiter. The Arbiter is going to play a Time Remnant, a Timekeeper over there. And the Timekeeper is going to remove a delay from Gaspar. And then I'm going to use Hypochlorite to cloak the Arbiter.
Yep.
Ending turn, you have only 2 tactics. I will lose a delay, and I already have drawn all my cards. And Distortion will lose a charge. So you have 2 tactics, no events.
I can do this. At least I can get rid of Dread Lagoon ASAP. So
What?
I'll play Smoke Pellet to uncloak Ishikawa. Because we only need 4, and as soon as I move over there, I'm going to gain a power because of Storm Chaser.
Well, I'm okay if you give me the battlefield.
Yeah. I don't want to use maybe soloing it or something, so. And I'm going to be losing my last morale with that. I'm going to do Eradon in case It's good. I don't need this one. Will I draw still one card this turn, or
You will draw one card, yes.
and at that point I'm better be playing Shadow Veil to cloak an allied unit and draw a card. I will not shuffle any item.
Any ambush?
I will uncloak to get in.
Alright,
Your
nothing
turn.
from me. Any ambush from you?
Nope.
I'll gain 4.
Use technique or is because hyperchlorite is a static item.
Yeah,
You could have and it's I know it's gonna uncloak at daybreak, so you'll be fine.
yeah, I don't think you do anything that would give me the chance at the forest. So, 6 power on that. I need to add a total of 8. Which is harder to do with Chrononauts than you think. But fortunately, Aris is going to draw Inotrope. No, she won't. Um, so, can I still add 8? 6. No, I can't. I needed Inotrope. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to do K-Jar to slow you down if you're not winning. We will do Slow to
Slow
slow
me.
Sleipnir and add 4 battlefield. And because I have nothing else to do, I will do Epinephrine for strength on the Arbiter. I've already drawn my cards. Distortion is gone. Slow.
I need to do 21 now.
Yeah, but if you do that, then Elven Woods is going to break on objective, unless if Sleipnir is still there.
Yeah.
So we're at the hour mark. So it's definitely plausible. This is a slower, we're on
Yeah.
30 turns.
Yes. It's my is bad. Well, I need to do what ninja do, and it's killing stuff. So I'm gonna play Jinishi to
You
discard.
can't. K-Jar.
Oh, I'm gonna deal damage to K-Jar.
Dang it.
And I'm gonna play Jinishi to deal a discarding a fire skin to deal a second damage to K-Jar and a damage to
Aris.
Aris, starting to get rid of that at some point. And then Jinishi is gonna deal 1 damage to target, a third one to K-Jar, and another one to
No, she had a shield, so she would only take 1.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to have to lose a morale. I will lose a breach.
Yeah, that's the fun part since we're losing morale now because of discard cards, and I've got an advantage in some sort since my discarding my cards have benefits. And I'm gonna put a shield in case you go trigger happy too. Oh no, I'm lacking stuff. I'll need a strength over here. Drawing 2 cards for finally, and be your turn.
So you should be out of throwing.
Yeah, it got out. It has been played a lot early.
Can I go for the win? I need to go for the win to add 7 power. So we'll start with Aris. All I need is a particular card. And that's not it. So we will do Medina. We will do a Time Remnant and we'll do epinephrine on the arbiter. On Medina, just in case, because I don't want you to. So the time limit is going to gain 2 delay, but the delay will come off.
That's
And I've already drawn.
I'll start with Eradon. Do I have any units left? Yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
This game would have been over if I wasn't dead.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the question is, can I swing it?
No, you can't.
As yeah, I need to play Bolt Fan to draw cards, but and then it's I'll still try to play to win. So I will play my Ashes of Ifrit to deal an area damage here.
She's protected.
Yep. And an extra damage to the Time Remnant. I will Warfare a damage to get rid of the...
Why can't I have nice
I'm-
stuff?
Yeah, I know, but...
People are they're gonna be like, oh, that card is so cool, but
And I'm gonna play, since I've got it, and it's a nice card, it's Outpost.
Outpost is a fun card, but I don't think you'll get a chance to use it.
Yeah, and I'll draw...
All right.
What do I
So
have left just because?
4, 7, 9, 11. That's 14. Dorino. Haste. And then that's game.
Yeah, the gas part really hurt a lot since I had no unit at that time,
Yeah,
but I've got a...
I didn't think that you were going to give it to me, but then again, that makes sense because I was going to win next turn with Elven
Yeah.
Woods on objective with you there.
I think the key point was the water scrolling. I should have kept it to shuffle cards back, especially this.
Yeah, you
Because-
had a really thin deck. That would have been scary.
When I did my bush in, my Gamble bush in and Elvenwood and its Sleipnir, I was hoping to get Jinishi to get Fire Skin out and killing bunch of stuff left and right. But hey, I get Sleipnir and I was always a few short of doing good stuff. But I had a strong start and it's often how the game plays. Oh yeah.
Well, Chrononauts are all about patience. I had a brutal start. I drew pretty much all units
there's the rest.
to start the
Yeah. Elion Arbiter, Flashpoint, I still have a good card left.
Well, Flashpoint is not going to do me much. Innotrope was the card that I needed on like several
Yeah.
successive turns.
Like 3 times with Eradon, I shuffled Jousting Spear because I didn't need it. But outside from I could kill Dalton with Ishikawa, but the issue was Ishikawa was always cloak because of it. So I'm sure the moment I left him on cloak, you'd kill him. So
I did not think I was going to be able to get the bridge. I think that was the turning point because if
I was always like 1 or 2 power short with all my movement. If I had Lamere maybe or things like that.
so I drew the ashes with Aris. I don't know what would have happened if I hadn't gotten that because I didn't have enough to break it.
I wasn't expecting an Ashes play there, but because I still have good, the glaive is there, but I have no more morale. Fire Skin is here, but it's good to. I had Dawsing Rod for a long time since I redraw it, but
Yeah.
I was always okay. I need to try to catch up. I remember one of my Bunshin play was just to have more unit and split out because, especially when you started building in the Lagoon, I was hoping that you'll do a move play with Arion there, so that's why I with Aris. So
Oh yeah.
that's why I put Arion there, but he left.
No, I was going to solo. I had to rewind Arion because if you hadn't, he would have just followed me wherever I went.
Yeah.
And it would have been VP. Because I had epinephrine for water on acid on movement, and I'm like, I can't give him any more VP. I need to find a way to catch back up. And then I saw the opportunity to get rid of Tissa. I had to take that. Um, Hodgkin coming in clutch with the epinephrine with water and acid on movement.
I'm just looking through my cards. Outpost currently does nothing. I have no movement cards left unless I do use my dowsing rod for it. But it was a small ninjutsu at the start, but was in my head I was thinking, oh yeah, I will be able to draw probably a fire skin and play it and throw it, but it wouldn't work because I can't do both. Still, Albert.
Who'd you draft?
Epona because she's always fun, and I think it was Nagato probably. Yeah, I don't know who to draft really on the ninjas because
I like to draft Junichi.
yeah, they all vary in what they do, and they like the ninja have very specific path to play compared to like say chemist where it's intertwine a bit together. So it's like, do you go with the mask and cloaking of Nagato? Do you go with the like sneak attack, play more of ambush phase, or
I like Junichi because I like her retreat a lot, her ambush a lot.
yeah. At one point, I was like, when I drafted my idol, I was thinking, do I get her to try to remove my wounded units? But I needed to do ambush for it to trigger. So, but still, Nagato was useful for its damage on the breach, and
I drafted Aris. She was out all game long.
yeah, always.
No, I don't. I take Medina quite a bit, and
Yeah.
if you weren't cloaking, then Laruba would have been another candidate.
Yeah,
But it's impossible to target you.
I wasn't really planning on killing him when I did. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put my infiltration, and Epona with the and Epona both visible, so you would have to struggle which one you would want to delay. But I was like, hey, I can kill him, sure. So we should be able to.
Yeah, this is
do
32
at least-
turns. I mean, just take off a third of it
Yeah.
because it's 24 turns typically.
Should leave us a few 5-10 minutes to speak a bit.
Yeah, I think this is a good test.
I'll try to keep the talking to during my turn. If you want, I can do most of the at least setup token. You can do cleanup like you want. Like if there's any strength damage, I'm used to handling it. So
We got Beryl in the chat looking at flavor text.
I'm sure.
So yeah, I feel good about this. OBS is working. That's what I was worried about. The OBS is like, would you like to upgrade? The answer is no. I'm not going to upgrade. 3 days before the event. That would be terrible. I also think that we had to spend a lot of time explaining more things. Like we had to explain delay, cloaking.
There's a few stuff that won't really be there. So
Yeah, we could totally do it in an hour.
Yeah.
All right. Now the final test, and this is super important, is I'm going to roll this dice, and we are at 1 minute and 12. So the question is, when I stop the stream, where is it going to stop? Because apparently last time it cut off a little bit. So I'm now going to stop the stream. Thanks to anyone who was watching. You can stay on the line. This is just a test. So time is